I receive this question a lot where a lot of people ask me, Hamdawe, between mutual fund and stocks, which one do you think I should invest my money in? So I've decided to dedicate this particular video in addressing this particular question. So in this video, we'll be looking at what mutual fund is and what stocks is, and also the risks and also the returns of these two and how to invest in these two things, basically the differences between them. So if you are watching me for the first time, my name is Hamdawe. I talk more on finance and I talk more on investment. Kindly consider to subscribe as we get into this video. Alright, so let's first of all begin by understanding what these two things are. So let me begin with mutual fund. So mutual fund basically is a pool of resources from two or more people, or basically different people comes together to contribute some amount of money, which we call a fund. And that particular money they contribute, which we call a fund, is managed by one person in order to bring returns. And at the end of the day, the returns that comes from this particular fund is then distributed to each and everyone who has contributed any amount of money in this fund based on the percentage of contribution. So how do we get the returns, or what are the things that the fund manager usually invest in or put their money in to bring returns? So most often they invest in stocks, they also invest in treasury bills, they invest in government bonds, they invest in different investment platforms that will bring or yield returns at the end of the day. But most of the times the money or the investment that they do usually are safe investment. So now let's look at what stocks are. So stocks on the other side is investing or putting your money in somebody's business. So at the end of the day, if the person business makes profit, you also tend to benefit from the profit, either by receiving dividends or by share growth. So at the end of the day, let's assume you invest your money in one particular company and the company makes profit, you then tend to yield or get returns from that particular profit the person is making based on the amount of shares you are holding with that particular company. If you want to understand more on stocks investment, I have a couple of videos in my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to that so that you can go and watch more and understand more about stock investment. But basically, this is what we call stock investment. So these are the clear differences between stock and also mutual fund. So now let's get into the risk aspect of it. So when we take a look at stock investment, usually stock investment is very volatile. You can buy stocks and today the market will be very volatile and you may lose some money. Likewise, you may also gain some amount of money. So most of the time stock investment is very risky, unlike mutual fund. Mutual fund is less risky. When you compare mutual fund to stock investment, mutual fund is usually considered as a safe investment or is less riskier investment, because the money that you invest in the mutual fund, it diversify in different portfolios. For instance, if one portfolio is not doing well, the other portfolio will tend to do very well, or it will tend to perform very well, making it very safe or less riskier. But let's look at the returns of these two investment vehicles that we've mentioned. So if you take a look at mutual fund, the returns on it usually isn't that much. It ranges from 18 to 25% depending on the mutual fund that you are investing in, or the yield the mutual fund is able to generate within one particular period. But looking at stock investment most of the times comes with very good returns, just like how it's risky. You can wake up in the day and your share or your stock will multiply or even triple or even quadruple. Your share can grow within a year for more than 100%, and sometimes to the reverse is very true. And your share, you can wake up in a day and your share will decline value, decreasing 30 or 50 or 100% or even 200%. Same way as the returns, same way as the risk. But if we compare mutual fund and stock investment is usually something that comes with good returns, unlike mutual fund. But mutual fund is considered as safe. So now that we've established the clear differences between these two investment vehicles and also the risks and returns, let's look at which of these investments should one invest in. So for me to answer that, I'll put it on a risk appetite decision. So if you are somebody who is a risk neutral person, then I would recommend that you should go for mutual fund, because looking at it, mutual fund is less riskier, and most of the times one hardly lose money when it comes to mutual fund. But when it comes to stock investment, you can easily lose money. So if you are a risk neutral person, I would suggest that you should go for mutual fund. But if you are somebody who is a risk averse person, or somebody who is a risk tolerant person, I would suggest that you should go for stock investment. Because looking at this, if you are able to do your research very well and you are able to review the finances of the companies that you are coming to invest in very well, at the end of the day you stand the chances of getting high returns when it comes to stock investment. So this will be my fair answer when it comes to investing. But if you are somebody who also like investing, or somebody like me, I will recommend that you should diversify your portfolio. Put 30% of the money in mutual fund and 70% of your money in stock investment. At the end of the day, you have a guarantee that you get returns, and also you have another guarantee as to whether you get returns or you not get returns. So this will be my fair answer to investing as to whether you should put your money in mutual fund or invest your money in stock investment. Okay, so now let's look at which type of mutual fund can you invest in if you are located in Ghana, and also which type of stocks should you invest. So in Ghana, we have some 3 best mutual funds that usually generate good returns at the end of the day, even though we have more, but I'll recommend these 3. The first one is DataBank M Fund, and also we have IC Liquidity Fund. We also have Stanbic Bank Cash Trust Fund. These are the 3 mutual funds I will recommend if you want to invest in. I have a video on how to invest in any of these mutual funds if you want to invest in them. I will leave a link in the description. Also, if you want to invest in stock, I will recommend these 5 stocks. I recommend that you should buy MTN as part of your portfolio, buy ETI as part of your portfolio, buy GCB and also Total, and don't forget to buy Cowbank if you want. These are the 5 recommendations I will make. But remember that whatever that I'm saying is not a financial advice. You have to do your due diligence before you invest your money in any of the stocks or any of the mutual funds that I've mentioned. If you actually watch me to this extent, I will probably suggest that you've gotten so much value and you've gotten so much insights on the differences between mutual fund and also stocks investment. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly consider to subscribe as we build this community together.